here we have quite an interesting and unusual fragment of a stupa dome. It's a pink sandstone. Of course, the color has changed in the past 1,500, 1,600 years, but we can still see it has this pinkish surface, very nice, and it shows here the stupa, and here's a lotus base, and here is a depiction, very nicely carved, of Buddha. And it's from the POST-GUPTA period, 7th to 10th century, or maybe earlier. It compares favorably with quite a similar piece that's been exhibited only recently, where a cooperation of several museums in China and other places have presented some Gupta and early post-Gupta pieces. And this one, by the way, is from the collection of Dr. Swart from Osnabrück, from where it was already acquired in India in the 1960s. And after the doctor deceased, it went to the collection of a gentleman from Cadiz in Spain. This is pretty much the other point in Europe, quite opposite. Osnabrück is in the very north and Cadiz is in the very south. And so it's had only two owners in the last, or three owners in the last 50 years, half a century. And the interesting thing also, of course, of it is the inside of the stupa. You see here how the stone has been treated with pretty blunt force and blunt instruments, because this part, of course, was not visible. So there's no polish to it, nothing, but it's a good fingerprint-like testimonial on how the stone was worked 1,500 years ago. This compares also to an earlier sandstone figure of Buddha, also seated in what we refer to as the European pose, with the hands held in the Dhammachakra position, Dhammachakra mudra, dated 5th to 6th century. This one is in the British Museum. And then another sandstone figure from the 7th century, also in the British Museum, both quite interesting in the direct comparison. And then a third one, which is in the Victoria and Albert Museum, eventually, with the accession number 238 from 1950.